And there you have it.
He's doing better than most. Half of them don't even notice the letters, let alone...
She's gonna die in there, and she's probably innocent. Go!
I'm inside.
The hell?
The letters, they just disappeared.
Don't I get a choice?
In this intense sci-fi horror tale set inside a deadly, maze-like prison known as the Cube, a lone prisoner suddenly finds himself trapped within its vast network of interconnected compartments. Driven by a desperate need to escape, he moves from one room to the next, carefully navigating the unknown dangers. At one point, he steps into a chamber that unexpectedly sprays him with an unfamiliar liquid. Panicking at first and assuming it must be acid burning his skin, he cautiously tastes it and discovers it has a sweet flavor. Believing it to be harmless flavored water, he drinks deeply to quench his overwhelming thirst. If you made it this far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Only to realize too late that it is actually a powerful chemical base. The corrosive substance slowly melts his entire body away within just a few minutes, leading to a gruesome death. It soon becomes clear that every single room in the Cube is under constant surveillance from a distant observation room, where two technicians named Eric and Dodd monitor everything on screens. These men have no clue about the identity of their mysterious bosses and are strictly banned from accessing any files unrelated to their specific duties. Despite the rules, Eric grows more and more curious about the horrifying events unfolding inside the Cube and repeatedly tries to question Dodd about them. But Dodd dismisses him rudely every time. From what Eric and Dodd understand based on their limited knowledge, every individual trapped inside the Cube is either someone who has been officially condemned to death or a willing volunteer participating in twisted psychological experiments. To pass the long hours on shift, the two technicians regularly play chess games against each other, during which Eric showcases his incredible mental calculation abilities by accurately predicting Dodd's every move in advance. In addition to their monitoring tasks, they are given simple tablets as their only meals to sustain them.
Good. I didn't forget lunch this time.
One day, they get a major task: record and erase the memories of a new subject named Cassandra Rains. In the erased memory, Cassandra and her daughter walk happily through a forest until a masked soldier abducts them and injects sedatives. Before blacking out, Cassandra sees the soldier's face and spots a distinct cube tattoo on his forehead. She wakes trapped in the cube, calls for help with no response, and starts exploring. In the next room, she meets Robert Haskell, who tackles and restrains her until he realizes she's another captive.
Let me go! Get off me!
Okay. Sorry.
There she also meets Jellicoe, Meyerhold, and Bartok, who have been stuck for weeks with no memories of their past or how they got there. Robert has the same cube tattoo as the soldier. Motivated to escape, the group heads in one direction, testing rooms carefully. Bartok throws his shoe first. When nothing happens, he steps in and gets caught in a tightening thread network that slices his body apart. Shaken, the survivors continue. Cassandra notices English letters on every door and deduces their coordinates, showing each room's position. They figure the cube has 26 rooms total, matching the alphabet, and decide rooms along the z-axis are safe. Back in the control room, Eric's curiosity peaks. He offers to teach Dodd chess strategies in exchange for cube info. Dodd shares details about a third auxiliary exit, but nothing more. Eric later notices Cassandra's consent form is missing and tells Dodd their work is illegal, but Dodd dismisses him again. They then see Cassandra's photo in a newspaper revealing she's a politician, proving the cube targets innocence without consent.
Hey! See? Told you I recognized her.
Soon the superiors call and order an exit procedure on their former colleague Owen, now a test subject. Dodd sets up a machine with a camera and yes-no button. When chained Owen reaches an exit, Dodd asks his name. He answers correctly, so Dodd presses yes. Then whether he believes in God, Owen says no, so Dodd presses no and fire instantly kills him. Eric panics. realizing they could face the same fate and that the cube is inhumane with people forced inside against their will. Hours later, paranoid Eric sneaks into an unauthorized elevator down to the cube. Using his knowledge, he draws and memorizes a full map before setting out to save the remaining prisoners. Meanwhile, Superior Jax and his team arrive at the control room. They track Eric's location and order Dodd to run standard needle tests on Cassandra's group. Inside, Jellicoe checks a room that turns out to be moving. The door slams shut behind her and she vanishes. Cassandra reopens it, but Jellicoe is gone. Dodd locates her and injects a sedative into her feet. The group later finds her unconscious. Meyerhold turns her over, revealing an infection. Jellicoe wakes, grabs Meyerhold begging for help, but he pushes her away in defense, and she hits her head and dies.
Did you hear me?
Oh my God.
Her scratch infects Meyerhold too. Robert wants to abandon him to avoid spreading the virus, but Cassandra refuses. Meyerhold begs, so Robert agrees only if Meyerhold checks every future room first. Reluctantly, Meyerhold checks the room below them, but Robert suddenly pushes him down into a high-frequency sound trap that kills him in seconds. Cassandra argues furiously, calling Robert a selfish betrayer. Just then Eric enters, says Robert was right because the virus is highly infectious, and introduces himself as a cube employee. He reveals they all supposedly volunteered despite no memory of it. Robert angrily insists he never signed any consent form, was just a hard-working delivery boy before abduction, and has no real recollection of his past. Cassandra asks about her daughter. If you made it this far, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Shows sketches he made from her memories. She attacks him in grief, but he stops her, reminding her they need him. Eric promises to help using coordinates to reach the third auxiliary exit. Jax's team spots Eric on monitors, and Jax orders all room coordinates erased plus new traps. They corner the group in one room and electrify the walls to kill them, but a sudden power outage hits after Dodd secretly sabotages the operation in a change of heart. All traps deactivate, and the cube enters reset mode, giving everyone a 10-minute escape window before sterilization vaporizes everything inside. Eric sets a 10-minute timer on his watch, realizes Dodd helped, and leads the group toward the exit.
The system will restart itself in 10 minutes. The first routine it runs on restart is a clean sweep.
Back in the control room, Jax eventually discovers Dodd's act of treachery and executes him on the spot as punishment. Immediately afterward, Jax accesses a hidden implanted chip inside Robert's brain, seizing full remote control over his body and movements. Jax then reprograms Robert with new instructions, ordering him to eliminate all the remaining companions before they can reach safety and exit the cube. Following the override, Robert abruptly turns hostile toward his former group members and launches a savage, brutal attack against them. Eric and Cassandra work together skillfully to subdue and temporarily neutralize him, allowing the pair to push forward urgently. They eventually reach the exit room, only to find Robert already waiting for them there, having recovered and positioned himself in ambush. He attacks once more with ferocious intensity, nearly choking Eric to death in the struggle. Fortunately, Cassandra intervenes heroically at the last second and impales Robert on a sharp metal object protruding from the wall, finally killing him for good. With no time to spare, the two survivors dash through the auxiliary exit just moments before the sterilization procedure activates and destroys everything behind them. After emerging, Eric and Cassandra find themselves swimming through a body of water before surfacing in a serene lake. They continue their escape by running into a dense forest that looks eerily identical to the one depicted in Cassandra's long-erased memory from earlier. Tragically, Jax's soldiers soon arrive on the scene and begin pursuing them relentlessly through the woods. During the chaotic chase, Eric is hit with a tranquilizer dart and captured, but before fully losing consciousness, he fights back valiantly to hold the soldiers off for a few crucial moments, giving Cassandra the opportunity she needs to slip away and escape to freedom. Later, Eric regains consciousness and discovers he is now strapped down inside a sterile surgical room. Jax confronts him directly, revealing that Eric has been formally convicted of high treason against the operation and that he had previously agreed to participate as a test subject, complete with a signed consent form that Eric himself has no memory of ever approving. Following this devastating revelation, a surgeon begins the process of altering Eric's brain. While under the effects, he slips into a dreamlike state where he envisions Cassandra finally reuniting with her daughter and praising him as a true superhero for his sacrifices. In the final, haunting scene, the now mentally disabled Eric is placed back inside the cube as yet another new prisoner. The latest group of captives eventually discovers him wandering aimlessly, where he repeatedly mumbles about the color of the current room and expresses his desperate longing to return to a different room with another color entirely.